I am with the CEO and owner, Don DeMullen, and the Director of Manufacturing, Josh Jeffries of Mold Making Technologies 2020 Leadtime Leader Award-winning shop, Precise Tooling Solutions of Columbia's, Indiana. And we're going to get into some of the key technologies of this winning shop. So Don, walk me through your shift in technology investment from, I think, 2016 to 2018 to a focus on operational excellence and data-driven principles?
Yeah, hi, Christina, and thanks for that question. So I think I mentioned to you in your article that we've kind of been through three phases of our growth of our company. The first was building the strong base of technology that we had, getting E2 and things like our quality system up to speed. And then our second phase was investing in equipment. And over the past kind of 4 years, we spent pretty close to $4 million in new equipment. Our first major purchase, we bought some smaller machines early on, but our first major purchase was a 5-axis boring mill that we can put 10-foot by 12-foot plates on. And big mold bases. The second piece was a 5-axis CNC equipment made by Rotors that has really changed our game from a manufacturing standpoint. And Josh knows the equipment much better than I do, but the reason we bought that piece of equipment was the vast majority of our customers are in the LED lighting space. And they came to us and said, guys, we just simply can't have EDM and hand polishing in LED lighting applications anymore. We need you to have the equipment to cut to zero and then fit those inserts directly into molds so that they can produce parts. And we've been on a 2.5-year journey now to do that very thing, and have invested heavily in our equipment to make us the preferred supplier for LED lighting in the industry.
So what has been the result of this phased approach that you're taking? Because from gathering the information on the shop, you've changed the way you do things, even what you call it. Like it's the new face of mold making. So talk about that.
What we've really tried to do is we realize, as every other tool manufacturer in the country, that the days of having 3 or 4 65-year-old tool makers that manage the process from start to finish is just not doable anymore. First of all, those guys are happily moving into retirement, and it's hard to get young guys trained to that. So we, like many other shops, have moved to a process where we're departmentalized, and departments take care of specific responsibilities. So this compartmentalization that we've done across the shop, I think, has not only paid dividends to the amount of time we have invested, because we've taken processes and given them to experts. So we've lowered the amount of time that we have in tools. But what we've also done is built expertise across the shop in very different areas that is, I think, helping our efficiency grow incrementally.
So you talk a lot about your ERP, which is E2 from ShopTech. Why is a cloud-based advanced ERP system essential to how Precise does business?
Well, we run our entire shop, everything from quotes to making orders from POs to our financial system to our scheduling system. Everything that we do inside our operation is inside of ShopTech E2. And we feel very good about it. In fact, we just moved to the cloud-based version of that. And we did that for a purpose to get things off of our server to allow us to have a better IT strategy. And then it provides, I should say, a lot of opportunities. We eventually will turn on some technology that they have that allows guys to clock in once they get at their machine via their cell phones. And so it's things like that that will increase productivity. Interestingly, and one of the things that we've talked about is we don't have to go to a central area a central computer in a world of social distancing to log into machines in the future. We'll do that via potentially mobile phones that are tied into the system. So we think there's a lot of opportunities there, not only in getting data to the right people at the right time so they can make decisions and get jobs going, but it's just a much better strategy for our overall IT to have everything in one location, and that being cloud-based.
All right, let's toss this over to Josh so we can get a little bit more into your 5-axis capabilities.
All right.
Okay, Josh, you are Precise's Director of Manufacturing, correct?
Correct.
And I understand that you've been there for quite a long time. So I would consider you one of the seasoned professionals at the shop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've been here around 23 years now.
All right, and I hear you're very familiar with the technology. So let's get into this rotors, the 5-axis high-speed mill. Mm-hmm. Talk to me a little bit about the capabilities of that machine and why they are all important to Precise.
Well, the 5-axis allows us to minimize part setups and better surface finishes and tighter tolerances for the components that we're cutting. Polish time was impacted greatly when we bought that rotor, and it took our surface finishes to a whole nother level.
Talk a little bit about setups, because I know, let's walk through the setups, the accuracy of the machine, the fixturing options that this machine has allowed, its speed.
Yeah, so with systems like FCS, we can use those in conjunction with the rotor. We can run multiple part setups at a time. The 3-axis milling, you could do some multiple setups, multiple part setups, and then there was a lot of hands-on as far as setup was concerned, where the 5-axis kind of eliminates that.
Could you provide a specific, any specific jobs stand out to you where you really saw the difference that this machine brings to Precise's work?
Yeah, we had some cam drivers we were cutting that used to take quite a bit of time on our 3-axis mills. Multiple setups, we'd have to put blocks in vices, take them out, change our setups, set up different tooling and stuff like that. The 5-axis plus FCS, we put 4 or 5 blocks in at a time and cut them all at one time.
It's rare nowadays I go into a shop that I don't see FCS being used. That seems to be a technology that's just exploded in the mold making sector. What future opportunities do you see with 5-axis machining?
The optical inserts, I mean, it seems like that technology grows daily. I mean, they get more complex every time we get a new one. And that rotor helps us stay ahead of that curve. Headlights on cars are just, it's like they picked that one area to make the most complex on the part. But the rotor helps us stay ahead of that curve.
Since being in mold making, I completely notice taillights and headlights and everything nowadays, knowing the technology that is behind that aspect of a car. It's pretty incredible. And it's quite the niche to be involved in. When you look at CAD CAM software, we talked about you have Autodesk PowerMill, PowerShape Fusion. I don't know if you want to talk about the Visi. You were on quite the journey with your CAD CAM software. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
CAD CAM software is constantly changing too. The softwares we use help us fully utilize the machine to its potential. The example I've used is like, without the proper CAM software, you're basically putting a governor on your Ferrari. We got the best machine out there. We might as well have the best software to fully utilize that machine. And Visi is a whole another animal. We're starting down that path right now, and it's pretty exciting what we've seen so far.
So in terms of CAD CAM software, what is it about Visi, or the type of software that Visi is? What is it that's attracting you guys to take a look at that?
Well, the compass automation that it provides is kind of the direction we're going down. Most softwares allow you to, you could utilize like UG or Mastercam fully through your shop and have only one software. Visi seems to be the product so far that does it the best for what I've seen.
How has this suite of software helped you, realize all the capabilities to their fullest of the 5-axis machines.
So the way the CAD softwares create surfaces and the way the CAM softwares read the surfaces and communicate that to the machines were the reasons why we picked the softwares we did. And then looking at Visi, we have to consider all that during our move. It has to read it the same or better so that we can continue to utilize the machines the way we do.
So let's get your take on E2 for scheduling and data tracking. I know that was an area when you talk about this software, you focus on those aspects. So talk about that a little bit.
Well, I actually really love E2. It has, to me, it has changed the way we manage the company. You know, before E2, everything was so hands-on. There was Excel spreadsheets as far as scheduling, people asking, you know, every hour or two what it is that they're supposed to work on, where now you can manage from the seat of your, you know, in your office from the computer. The guys on the floor, they work off of their work queues. They each have a computer. They can basically know what they're to work on for weeks at a time. It's all provided for them right there on their work queues.
So it's streamlined things.
It's streamlined, yeah, much so. Now there's a lot of background work that goes on.
What's the learning curve?
Complain about all the time, but
yeah, what is the learning curve when you're implementing a ERP system like that?
I think we had about a 6-month learning curve where a lot of us lost hair and or our hair turned gray, and it was quite a struggle at the time, and you know, but we all fought through it, and we could see that the benefit would be there in the end, and it sure was. It's the backbone of our company now. That's
what I was looking for. I love that, the backbone of the company. All right, so I cannot not ask you this. What is there a piece of equipment, you know, being the director of manufacturing, that's on your wish list? Like, what's next for what you would like to push to get precise, to get on the shop floor?
To get on the shop floor.
Yeah.
Visi was really next on my list.
Okay.
That technology I thought was the foundation to get automation on the shop floor. So automating more of our processes on the shop floor with pallet changing systems, work cells with multiple 5-axis machines would probably be the technology where I would go next. But before we go there, we have to solidify the software. Got it. There's a method to the madness, right? Method to the madness. All right. Well, thank you, Josh, for your time. The feature story and other content on Precise Tooling, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the various technologies behind what they do. So check out moldmakingtechnology.com. Okay. Thank you.